Welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get him in your lineups. Get him in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today was a landmark day for us here in the Sweatshop, man. We had one of our very own. We know him as Andrew Pierce, but you may see him around the tournaments as ACP 1236. He is here live on the show with us, talking about a very solid day he had today. One of the best days I've ever seen from anybody in the DFS Sweatshop. Drew, what's up, big homie? How you doing, man?
What's going on? What's going on, Sweatshop family?
Cooling, man. Yo, I gotta tell you, I was away with family. You know, today was Mother's Day. First, did you have a mom in your life? Did you get a chance to talk to her? Or?
Yeah,
cool.
I actually was spending the whole day with her while peeking at golf and watching some of the games.
Wonderful. Well, what we know about today is that all the sweatshop went ham, and there were so many messages being passed and forth, and everybody was talking about it. Man, you went in and you took down the 100K first prize. And what tournament was that? Was it what was the name of it?
The tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tournament was the Pressure Put.
The Pressure Put tournament, man. You went in and you took down 100K, bro. How does that feel, man?
It's crazy, man. It was surreal because yesterday I had been I actually finished in first yesterday. And you know how it is when you're at the top before the games are over. You know, you don't think it's really gonna hold.
Right.
And I bounced all the way down from fifth, sixth, going up and down. But when I saw at the end of the day the last guy putted, and I saw the number one spot with my rank, I didn't believe it until I actually saw the notification, man. Like, it still hasn't settled in yet.
Wonderful. Man. That is so dope. So this was a golf tournament.
Yes.
So now, where do you go to get most of your? Where do you do your golf research? Like, where do you go? Like, are you just a golf fan? Did you know a lot about golf prior to starting to enter tournaments, or how did you get started?
Okay, so golf actually. Well, a little side note. My main sport was basketball. Always NBA. Even when I got into DFS, which actually wasn't too long ago, it was about maybe 6 months ago, if that. I haven't been doing DFS for too long. My main sport was NBA.
Right.
But I actually started golf from the sweatshop. A few guys in there, like Seth Rudnick, whatever, would post Dexter Pope, one of his podcasts in there. I had checked out, not too long ago, and I started looking into it and the statistics, and I just noticed that the statistics were very, it was very something easy to follow that I could get into. And since I was a little newer fan to the golf scene, I didn't really flock to the names as much as I did the statistics.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were able to see the numbers. You were able to see the numbers in the statistics and not just the names, right?
Yeah. So of course, as a sports fan in general, the big names, of course, like Rory McIlroy, or et cetera, et cetera. But when I really started getting into it, I started looking at the numbers instead of the names. Like, that's my biggest problem with basketball, that I look at the names of players like, LeBron or whatever. I started finding those key players, those sneaky players that put up high numbers, but they aren't well known. And I the last couple of weeks, I've been posting consistent numbers. In golf, they have cuts. So most of the time, I get around 5 out of 6 cuts, and then if I really catch, I'll get a 6 out of 6. And this week, I just put it all together. I did my research, and I just managed to get a 6 out of 6 cut for 2 of my line.
So striking a blow for the everyday common man. You saying, I hadn't been around the DFS scene very long. I was able to get some solid information, put that together with whatever you had learned throughout the basketball season, and look what happened, man. You take first place in a major tournament, and you make yourself a 6-figure dude, man. That is awesome, bro. That is so awesome.
It's crazy, man. A few other people I want to give a little shout outs to, because on YouTube I check out this guy called Rick Run Good. That's Rick Run Good.
Rick Run Good.
He's real straight up, man. He comes up with his own stats and his statistics, and his stats were actually before I heard the podcast this week, like on Monday, Tuesday. His stats were one of the key features that put me on to a player that performed really well this week. So I want to really give a shout out to that guy, Rick Running Good.
Word, because we are all about that. We are all about showing love. Now, let's take us through the lineup a little bit, because I think did you have the guy that won the tournament? Do you have to have the guy that wins the golf tournament to win?
No, so here's the beauty about golf, right? So the lineup I actually have, the 6 out of 6 cut, the people I had were Sergio Garcia, Martin Kmart, Roy McIlroy, Francis Molinari, Kyle Stanley, and Brandon Steele. Now, none of those guys actually won the tournament.
Wow.
So, of course, if you get the guy that wins the tournament, you give yourself a huge advantage, obviously. But, as we know in GPPs, ownership plays a huge factor. So, the highest guy I had in my lineup, as far as placing-wise, was Kyle Stanley, and he was in 4th place. I didn't have anybody from the top 3.
Wow. That is dope, man. It never ceases to amaze me, man. What can happen when you set your mind into something that you enjoy, man. This is a hobby for a lot of people. It's a full-time job for others, man. But in the sweatshop, man, the way we just care about each other, man. And I know you talked about Dexter Pope, man. He goes out of his way and does that Wednesday night. Sometimes it's like 2 hours long. And it's only for cats that are in the sweatshop.
It's crazy, because I'll tune into his podcast, and then I'll go somewhere, and it'll be like an hour or 2 later, he's still going strong.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it was a beautiful thing, man. I'm so happy for you, man, and blessed that you were. This is for me. This is the most beautiful thing for me, is to see the logo there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! Imagine how many people, because this whole thing for me started because I wanted people like you to win. I wanted the average everyday man to win, and to let other people know that you can win. And you being like the sweatshop poster boy right now for smashing the Sharks. That is awesome, bro. That is so awesome, man. Word. Well. I know you got a lot of stuff to do, man. It's kind of late at night, and you did go out of your way, man, to bless us, man, on the show. Just wanted to thank you again, man, for all you do for the shop and all this big win is going to do for us, man. So, hey, enjoy your time, man. I want you to have a good one, man, and I'll probably see you around, most definitely inside the shop.
Oh, for sure.
All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
All right. There, brother.
That was the big homie. Oh, my God. ACP 1236, man, went out and did the thing, man. That was awesome. Very awesome thing. So we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a very solid MLB slate coming up. We're going to jump right into that. Let's go ahead and get to it in just right now. Now, taking a look at this 8-game all-day slate. Now, we've got 7 games here. Okay, we got 7 games here in the main slate. This is going to serve as our main slate, the 5:15, that jumps off at 7:07. First pitch goes out then. We also have a 5-game night that goes into that 7-game main. So I'm going to tell you in the spot, you can make a lineup in here and throw them bitches in the main. You've also got a 4-game late that can also go in this 7 games. So 8 games are going to be all day. Those buy-ins are not going to be the same as the 7, the 5, and the 4 games. but you're more than welcome to play the all day. It's just one game to be left out, okay, if you play the main. Now, remember what I said. You got 5, you got 4 here. Make some lineups in these spots. Throw them bitches in the main. Remember the strategy we talked about, where we uncovered or we made notice of the fact that some of those the later games, the West Coast games, generally are more higher in scoring. They're more high in scoring. So those are definitely spots that you want to take a look at. Okay? Now, we're going to go through and kind of break this thing down game by game. Let me make sure I've got everything situated here, and we will be going through it in just a moment. Now, first game we're going to talk about is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cleveland Indians. This is a 7.5 run total. Of course, we've got 52% humidity, 4 mile per hour wind coming back toward the batter box. 62 degrees is going to be the temperature with 0% chance of rain and a dew point at 44. We got Chris Archer, priced at 11.1. Now, you know, I normally love to play Archer in these spots, most definitely. But, man, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough sell because I'm glad this game isn't a part of the main slate because, you know, it would force me to make that decision on Archer that I really hate to make. I think he can be in a good spot. This is a guy, you know, that is a young ace pitcher, in my opinion. One of my favorite pitchers in the league, as a matter of fact. But we've seen the Cleveland Indians kind of trending up. They've been playing particularly well lately. It's funny because Carlos Carrasco is priced 11.3, whereas Archer is at 11.1. So I definitely like Archer more than Carrasco as a pitcher. But when you look at what the Tampa Bay Rays do as a team, they strike out more than any other team in the league. And I think that would kind of convince me to give more of a nod to Carlos Carrasco, even though I think that Chris Archer is a much better pitcher. Has a lot more control, a lot more command than we're going to see from Carlos Carrasco. So that's where I'm going to be. And if we're just breaking down pitching, and if a batter stack jumps off of the page that really ignites us, then we can definitely take a look at that. But for the most part, man, we're going to be working with a lot of our pitching on this slate, just making sure that we can play guys in spots that we really, really like. Now, this is what we're seeing here from the Rays now. In K rate, when it comes to K rate, they are ranked, man, not good. The worst team in the league when it comes to K rate. They strike out 26.6% is the K rate there. We've got a 164 ISO, not particularly terrible. 316 WOBA, a little more we want to desire there. So this is a team, man. You know, Carlos Carrasco is in a really good spot against this team, this Rays team that does strike out a ton. The next game on the slate is going to be the Atlanta Braves. Bartolo Colon at 6.5K going against Mike Bolsinger at 6K. Now this, we got the Toronto Blue Jays, man, really been lighting up lately in very good spots. We know what we can do against Bartolo Colon. The dude doesn't go out and get completely shelled often, but, you know, he can give up some runs. And against some of these left-handers, when you look at Smoke, who we talked about yesterday, you look at Kevin Pillar has been playing very well. Ezekiel Carrero's been playing pretty well. So Jose Bautista is kind of back in this spot. So there's quite a few guys. Ryan Goings at 2.9. There's a few guys that I do like from this spot. Going against Mike Bolsinger, give me all of the Atlanta lefties. Inciarte, Freddie Freeman, even Matt Kemp. Nick Marquez is a guy that I'm going to take a look at. So a lot of stuff to like in this game. Don't have any issue with playing backs in this game, but I do not like the pitching. Now, as we look at the Blue Jays here, they are now 13th ranked in the league when it comes to K rate. But we've seen an increase in that ISO, increase in the WOBA. This team was a little bit further down just a few games ago, and they are clawing their way back up to the statistics. So I definitely think that Toronto is a team that's on the rise and a team that you can definitely look at going forward. Taking a look at the Atlanta Braves. The Braves have been a lot more disciplined at the plate. We've seen 23rd in K rate at 20.1% here. Decent ISO, decent WOBA. Not a team that's tearing it up, but they've got a few key guys that when they hit, they can hit for power. And this is pretty much a small ball team that I really hate to pick on. So that's why I don't like any pitching in this specific game. I don't like any pitching. I would more or less focus on some of those bats in this spot. Next game we're talking about is the Houston Astros and the Miami Marlins. This game is going to be in Miami. Really solid spot, man. We've got 9-run total in this game. You know, the thing I kind of like about this game is you got Dan Straley in Miami, and you also have Joe Musgrove. And this is a really solid total, man. We got 9-run total in the spot. We saw a huge offensive explosion in the way of home runs from this Houston Astros teams against my New York Yankees. Shout out to the Yankee captain, man. Retired that jersey. That needed to be done, man. Shout out to Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain. But, man, Musgrove against some of those Miami bats is going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble because, I like a couple of Miami guys. I think you can rock with any of the left-handers. Dietrich, give me some Christian Yelich in this spot. Justin Bour has been playing very well lately. Dan Straley is a guy at 8.2. So you're going to get a solid discount on these pitchers because both of them are really good. So if you're one of the ones who think that the game is going to be low scoring, you can take advantage of the pitching. If you think the game is going to meet that 9-run total or exceed it, you can definitely take advantage of some of the bats in the spot. I personally will like some of the bats here, but hey, that's why we chop it up like that in the shop. I mean, just because I like a play doesn't mean you're going to like a play. I'm just here to report the facts and give you a different way to look at DFS. And that's what we do here in the shop. Now, as you can see, when it comes to K rate, the Astros are one of the more disciplined teams in the league. At an 18.4% strikeout rate, man, that is nothing to chase, man. It's not. If you're looking for these guys to strike out a lot, you came to the wrong spot, man. They are just under the Boston Red Sox for the league's best strikeout percentage. So this is not a team you want to go after for strikeouts. They do. Candy for Power had a 167 ISO there, 339 WOBA, which is really solid too. So, I like Houston in this spot. I really do. Take a look at the Marlins. Right up above, you can check them out. They're 21st in the league in K percentage, and that's pretty good too. 20.2% K rate there. We got a 148 ISO. That kind of troubles me, as well as that 314 WOBA. So, if you wanted to play a pitcher in the spot, I think it should be, Musgrove against the Marlins and not Straley against the Houston Astros. That's just my opinion. I kind of like that. Next game we got on the slate is going to be Zach Wheeler and Zach Godley. This is the New York Mets taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks recently have been crushing, and I see that going no other way when it comes to this matchup against Zach Wheeler. I like some of those bats, especially the left-handed guys. You look at Peralta, Lamb. I love those guys in the spot. Goldschmidt has been batting out of his mind on a tear lately. So you definitely can take advantage of some of these guys in this spot here. The same thing kind of goes for the Mets. Now, we know that in Chase Field, man, one of those spots that are a very hitter-friendly part, man. The ball can get up out of there. You look at this order, man. You got Jay Bruce, you got Neil Walker. Curtis Granderson has a very solid BVP, in my opinion, against Zach Godley. I think we can rock with him there. So you can give me, a lot of lefties from both of these teams. And I think that's going to be a very solid way to play it. So take a look at this game, man. I don't like the pitching at all in this spot, but I definitely think we can rock with any left-handed bats that we see here that we may be partial to. Now, the Diamondbacks have not been as disciplined at the plate as a couple of other teams that we talked about so far. You look at where they are in K rate. They are 4th in the league at 23.8% K rate. Really nice ISO at 175 and a team WOBA at 329. So this is a team that either, you're going to get some strikeouts, but, man, those guys can really crush when they're ready. So you might want to curb your enthusiasm when it comes to how you would like to attack the Arizona Diamondbacks batting order, if you want to do that at all. My suggestion would be to go and play a few of those guys there, especially the left-handed bats. Jake Lamb, guy I really love. Also, we talked about Peralta in a lot of spots too. Now, if you're taking a look at the Mets, you're going to see where they stack up. This is a team that I think does pretty well, man. We've got them 28th ranked in the league in K rate, so that means this team does not strike out a ton. They are just below the Astros in the spot, 18.9% K rate, 179 WOBA. This team can mash and crush. Also a 179 ISO and a 316 WOBA for the New York Mets. Next game we got is the Chicago White Sox going to LA to take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Going to Anaheim, actually. It's a 8.5 run total, 9-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field. 62 degrees is going to be the temperature there, a 1% chance of very light rain. This game should play without any incident. We do have Mike Pelfrey for the Chicago White Sox, and we've got Jesse Chavez for the LA Angels. This is going to be a pretty solid game in my opinion. I think It's gonna be more of a pitcher's duel. This is you can play pitchers in this spot, and I think Adam Pelfrey at 5K can really be a solid value play that you just want to get 12 to 17 points from a guy that does not kill you, so you can pay up for certain bats that you like. We always can attack. Well, recently we've been able to attack the Angels because they just have not been hitting the ball with a lot of frequency. Man, we haven't seen spots where the whole team goes off very often. I mean, we've seen Mike Trout play particularly well. Mike Trout has been playing well, but he's been so off and on. And I think coming off of 2 games, the last 2 games just straight crushing on a heater, we could see a little tail off from that. And I think Mike Pelfrey could be the beneficiary in this spot. Love the fact that he's a right-handed pitcher and he's going to see mostly righties in this spot. You look at Jesse Chavez on the other side. Do I want to play? Do I want to play against the White Sox? Excuse me. Do I want to play Chavez against the White Sox? I think this is tough. We have to talk to Edwin Neves about this. He's the resident White Sox enthusiast. We're going to see exactly what he thinks about this. And take a look at it, man. We're going to open it up some and just take a look at Jesse Chavez in this spot, okay? Now, we've got, over the last few games, man, 15, 12, 5 against the Texas Rangers, 24 against Toronto, 18 against Houston, 1.5 against Texas, and 23 against Seattle. So the dude has not been horrible lately. He really hasn't. He hasn't been horrible lately. But I think he's definitely a guy that you could take advantage of. I would much rather play the pitching in this game than the batting. That's just where I'm at in the spot. Let's check them out and see where both teams stack up in the way of K rates and WOBAs and ISOs. Now, we've got a 14th ranked White Sox here with a 21.8% K rate. 137 ISO does not scare me. I've got a 295 WOBA. And you can play pitchers against these cats, man. You really can. You can. Now we look at the Los Angeles Angels and where they stack up as far as K rates. I think they're 19th ranked with a 20.4% K rate, 129 ISO, 293 WOBA, and that's why I like the pitchers in the spot. I think you can play either pitcher. And I'm saying play both of them. I'm saying, if you like a pitcher in this spot, you can definitely play him. It's my opinion. That's what I think about this game. Next game is going to be the Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners. This game is an 8-mile-per-hour wind in the dome, so it doesn't really matter. We got 70% chance of moderate rain. This game is going to play because it's a dome. They can pull it. They can retract the roof, so it's all good there. And we do have Sean Manaea against Giovanni Gallardo in this spot. And Manaea being that left-hander, going against the Seattle Mariners, man, and the Mariners having some right-handed power, man, makes me not want to play Manaea, but do want to look to some of those Seattle Mariners bats. I think that can be a really solid stack for us. Over the last few games for him, negative 1.9 against the Angels, 22 against Seattle last time out, 17.65 against Houston, 17.8 against Texas, and 8.7 against the Angels. So he has had some semblance of success against the Mariners in this spot, but I love some of those right-handed bats, man. I love Nelson Cruz in the spot. He's going to be one of my favorite plays on the slate automatically. Then we go over and we look at Gallardo and see what he's done over his last few games. 3 points, 13, 14, 27 against Oakland, who everybody has had an opportunity to do pretty well against Oakland. So I do not want any Gallardo. That's going to force me to look at some of those Oakland bats. Give me Yonder Alonso all day. 4.1K, first base. One of my favorite plays on the slate is going to be Yonder Alonso. I love him in this spot. We're going to take a quick look at some ISOs and WOBAs and see what we got there. Yep, we've got the Athletics. We got the Athletics sporting that 7th ranked K rate. This team strikes out a ton. 23.5% K rate for them there. 174 ISO, so that means they can mash with a 308 WOBA. That is not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I love that ISO, man. This is a team that strikes out or really hits jacks a lot. So they're definitely a squad that you can take a look at in this spot. We're looking at the Seattle Mariners next. And I think Seattle, when it comes to their K rate, man, they're pretty much a pretty decent team when it comes to K rate. 19.99% was good for 25th ranked in K rate. So that means this is a really good team when it comes to being at the plate and being disciplined in that spot. They've got a 154 ISO, 329 WOBA, which classifies them as more of a small ball type team. Definitely can take a look a lot of these guys tomorrow against Sean Manaea. I like them. If I had to choose, most certainly those would be some guys that I do like. I would like those guys in the spot. Next game we're talking about is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers. We got the Milwaukee Brewers and the San Diego Padres. This is a 10-10 pitch out, 10 mile per hour wind in Petco Park. Going out toward right field, a 2% chance of very light rain. 59 degrees is going to be the temperature here. And you got Chase Anderson and Luis Perdomo on the mound. Taking a look at Chase Anderson in his last few starts, negative. I don't want him. 8.5 for him, 8.5, 5.3 in his last 3 starts. His best start of the season came against Toronto, a 30.75 game way back about 5 or 6 weeks ago. Has not been very good recently. So definitely I'm thinking of playing a few of those San Diego guys. Checking out Luis Perdomo in the spot that he's in, man. Not horrible over the last 3. 14.9, 16.7, and 17.3. But you know what time it is, man. You cannot if there's no Travis Shaw, as you can see, Travis Shaw is day to day. If we don't have Travis Shaw, we're not gonna have Ryan Braun. Maybe you can pick on these guys a little bit. I wouldn't suggest it, but you look at VR and you look at this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. VR just hit a jack last night too, and we're probably gonna see Thames in there batting at 2 or 3 hole. So then you got Travis Shaw if he's playing. Man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for me to play Luis Perdomo against Milwaukee Brewers, even away from Miller Park. So not a team that I really want to pick on, man. And we know the Brewers are top in the league when it comes to K rates. We know that. Like, we look at the Milwaukee Brewers here, and they're like second in the league in K rate. But check out those ISO numbers, man. These dudes can mash. 214, a league-leading ISO, a 339 WOBA, very solid there. So those are both teams that you really get. And then you take a look at the Padres. They're right there in K rate, 24.4% K rate. But look at the ISO difference, 214 to 159. You look at the WOBA difference, 339 to 289. So you don't have to give the consideration that you're going to give to the Brewers, to the Padres in the spot, which is why I think that's going to make the Padres a very, very contrarian play no matter what the slate, as long as they've been playing the way they have been. So taking a look at the next game on the slate is going to be the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. 16 mile per hour wind going out toward right field. You've got a 71% humidity, 56 degrees going to be the temperature there. 0% chance of rain in this spot. The dew point is at 47, and this is it's another tough one. It's another tough one. Brandon McCarthy is going to be on the mound for the Dodgers. And we got Matt Cain for the San Francisco Giants. Give me all the Dodgers, man. I love the Dodgers in the spot. Give me Jock Peterson, Corey Seager. Give me Cody Bellinger at that 4.4 price tag. Yasmani Grandal. I like a lot of these. Give me all the Dodgers lefties against Matt Cain, even though this game is in what is a pitcher's park, so to speak. It is in the pitcher's park. And we have seen San Fran play a little bit better lately in the last couple of games. But 16 mile per hour wind, sign me up for that. I even like Brandon McCarthy against some of these San Francisco bats. So I'm not going to be on Matt Cain, not going to be on too many of these San Francisco bats. Maybe a lefty like Brandon Belt, maybe some Brandon Crawford. But aside from that, man, I'm all Dodgers in the spot. Like, I love the Dodgers in the spot. Taking a look at where both teams sit as far as, our K rates and things like that, they're both fairly disciplined squads, man. The Dodgers are 17th in the league in K rate at 21.1%. We've got 164 ISO, which is not bad. 335 WOBA, which is very good for this team. Very good for this team. Taking a look at the Giants in this spot, and even better K rate at 19.9% K rate. We've got a 120 WOBA, horrible. 278, 120 ISO, 278 WOBA, team WOBA, horrible. So give me some of the Dodgers in the spot, man. I'm going to like some Dodgers. So really quick, going over it, man, this looks like a pretty solid slate. It does look like a pretty solid slate, something that we can all get behind and be a part of. So we're going to yeah, this is gonna be a pretty solid slate. I'm all about this. I'm all about this slate. So, like I told you, we've got 8 games total in the all day, but we do have 7 games that's going to be serving it as that main slate. Another shout out to the homie, man. Drew Pierce, man. Yo, thank you, bro. You give us hope that we can go out and we can turn ourselves into 6-figure individuals. That's what we're trying to do, man. And we love you for that, man. Thank you so much for all you've done in your winnings, man, and continue to play and do your thing and be that beacon of hope for us here in the shop, man. And really quick, man, if you want to support the show, man, there's a few ways you can do that. There's a button over here that says support the show. Hit that button, support the show, okay? Follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, like, subscribe, comment, share, anything you got to do to mix it up. Now, my personal PayPal is simmonsmaurice95@yahoo.com. You can hit me up with that on Twitter. Or you can go to Twitter and check out my my bio, the link to the donations in the bio, or you can go to the website. There's a donations tab on the website, which will take you to my Twitter link. My PayPal link. You can do that too. Or you can become a full-fledged member of the sweatshop. And you heard the man. The man said, yeah, I've been playing for about 6 months. I kind of like some golf. There's another guy on YouTube that I do listen to, really solid cat that he did shout out. He was like, but when I go into the shop and I listen to those, on Wednesday nights when the homie DP, when Dexter Pope really breaks it down, those put me on guys and about 100K. So we win it. So this has been your DFS Gurusm. Follow me on Twitter @DFS Gurusm. The number one thing I want you to do when you're in the sweatshop is keep it 300. Let's go.